Yes, vivid memories of my time on Diego Garcia in 1945, but this film, taken by an official RAF photographer, now has great historical importance, as it includes many scenes of the native plantation workers at their daily tasks and at leisure. The building in view was the plantation manager's home, but in my time on the island was the station headquarters of the RAF's No. 29 Advanced Flying Boat Base for servicing visiting flying boats from Ceylon, which patrolled searching for enemy ships and submarines. Now here's the view from the aircraft. A Sunderland flying boat, which was bringing Flight Sergeant Hughes, a cameraman, to film our activities on this remote island. We are approaching the outer reef, which is noticeable by the white foaming water. Inside, in the lagoon, which incidentally is deep enough to accommodate the largest vessels of our Royal Navy, we approach the coast once more and fly over. But he's still lingering on that outer reef. Come on, let's get inside. Now a rather different view, still on the port side. And definitely over the lagoon. Our base, and in fact the area where most of the locals lived, is down below us, and there are two jetties, a short one to the left and then the longer jetty which was built and used by the islanders. And up we go and over the reef again. Visiting pilots usually made several circuits of the base, especially if they had not been before. And this fellow obviously was in touch visually with the launch below, which had been clearing the area. And when he saw all was clear, he lined himself up to make a very tidy touchdown, and so he did. And now we move to activities down below on the island. Here we are about to see one of the important jobs that our chaps had to do prior to a touchdown by visiting aircraft. That is to say, we had to search the area for any floating debris that might cause damage. Here we are in the marine tender with Corporal Jameson at the wheel and coconuts being hauled aboard, quite a number of them. They might not do much damage, but it's as well to get the whole place clear. Here's another one, quite busy. And off she goes, out of the way of the aircraft, and preparing for the next stage. That is to take the aircraft in tow when it is safely on the water and at a standstill. But our visiting pilot is still circling, and here he comes to make his touchdown. And a very tidy one it is too, which contrasts with one we shall see much later in the programme, when a Catalina makes a bad touchdown. Here she comes, still on the step, but slowing. Here we go. She turns to face our cameraman. And if you look carefully, you'll find each side of the fuselage, the crew are releasing drogues, further to slow the speed of the aircraft to a standstill. Then our launch comes alongside under the port wing, proper procedure, and gets a tow rope on the aircraft, and here we are towing it in towards the refuelling section. It's arrived at the refuelling buoy, and the crew, under our instruction, are picking up the long pennant, which was coiled on top of the buoy, so that the aircraft can float well away from the refuelling jetty. Then our launch takes another tow from the tail and pulls the tail of the aircraft around towards the refuelling jetty. At the jetty we have moored, or rather tied up, our bomb scour, which is a craft normally used to carry depth charges or bombs out to the aircraft and hoist them up into the wings. But here it's very useful for some of our lads to help in the mooring system. Now we've got her set up, and one of the important things we had to watch was to keep the fuel clean, so we used filter funnels. Now we're watching the twin-handled semi-rotary pump, which is at the shore end of the jetty, and our lads are pumping the fuel direct into the aircraft, a system which, as far as I know, was never done anywhere else in the world. But we had no refueler. That had been lost in a cyclone months before I arrived. And this was the important job for our section as soon as I got there, was to arrange an alternative fueling system.